This episode is brought to you by These Nuts, the makers of Her Nuts, His Nuts, Small Nuts, Large Nuts,
oh yeah,
and coming soon, Their Nuts. Do you ever have the urge for nutty chocolate? Or how about vanilla and caramel Krispies? Anything else and you're just out of luck. But you can order today from toastofray.com and get your salty nuts today. This is a fake advert and that no means it's a real product, but get one today. Now, Joey, you go.
How can I go behind that? That's what she said.
The human race is divided in two distinct sexes, male and female. While the typical man is a simple creature, there exists a subgroup, the nice guy, a dying breed of chivalrous, romantic, domesticated gentlemen whose qualities are desired by the opposite sex, allegedly. However, they are dismissed and confined in such concepts as the bestie, work husband, and the dreaded friend zone. Joe, Jason, and Manny are the last of the nice guys.
Hey guys, that's what they said. Welcome to another great edition, episode, whatever you want to call it, of The Last of the Nice Guys. I always get this wrong. Is it 1/2, 1/6, 1/4? What is
Are we
it?
still doing this?
Yeah.
Really?
What am I?
Still
Are we still doing this?
No, I've always. I'll be honest with you. Every
okay.
single
Here's the
episode,
question.
I've always wanted to know what fraction.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
You understand fractions all lead to a whole, right? You understand that, right?
Listen,
So
I copied everything in math. I copied.
I understand. Fractions they always tally up to a whole. So a good way to
Just fucking say it.
A good way to divide this up is if we are a whole, the three of us are a whole, then one of us would be. If the three of us equal a whole, that's the base. One of us would then be.
What's today's topics, Manny? What's going on? You have a topic today.
Joe is like a circle. There's no point to him at all. And it just keeps going around and around.
Listen, this heat up here in New York has me thinking irrational and not thinking at all. Case in point, I didn't know what the hell Jason was talking about just now.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Joe is 1/3 of this podcast.
That's all you had to say.
No, but I'm trying to teach you, bro.
Yeah, but I don't want to be taught now.
But you asked the question. I always get this wrong. So I'm trying to figure out.
I'm asking for a friend. So, Joey,
let me ask you a question. How far can my boot go far up your ass, huh? How far can it go?
I'm Manny.
I'm Jason.
My name is on the thing, so I'm Joe. It's right there on the.
They can't see that in the actual video.
Oh, they can't? Okay.
No, not in the video. That's between us. That's our thing.
Oh, it's between us?
Yes.
That's how you know. That's how you know who we are.
I can't wait to take a shower after this. Anyway.
I can't wait for you to. Sorry.
And that's how me and Jason get down. Roll credits.
What now?
And who are we, Joe? By the way, who are we?
We are.
This is a terrible intro.
We are the last of the night. Who cares?
No, this is awful. Who cares? We have people listening to this shit.
I know, but it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
No, they're falling. They're already falling off.
We're spontaneous. It's okay.
That was
it's
so.
Right.
Before we get to today's topic, we actually have a comment from an individual, Nicole. Thank you very much, Nicole, for, I don't know if you're actually listening.
Is that your friend? Is that your friend?
That is my friend.
Okay, I think I've never met her before, but I've seen her comments and
Yeah,
on a lot of your stuff.
What?
I've seen her comment on a lot of your stuff.
Yeah, so she
Yeah.
I don't know if she actually listens to the podcast, but I do know she comments on the actual post.
Everything.
And the last, not everything, but the last thing that we posted up was, are we a bunch of insecure men? And she writes, oh wait, hold on. No, I think this is the wrong one. She did say, okay, well, I didn't say that one, but she did say, aren't we all insecure? And I said, that's actually, you're right. You know, to a certain degree, we are all insecure. So I wanted to bring it up to you guys real quick. I mean, yes, we were defending ourselves against that comment from last week, but that's a good point. Isn't everybody on this planet, and I use planet very sparingly, insecure, you know, to some degree? So you guys, you want to respond?
I mean, we all have our insecurities.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I highly doubt there's one person that just is not insecure about one thing in their lives.
Exactly.
I mean, everybody has just at least one. So yeah, I believe I mean, if you put that in the same category, yeah, we all are insecure in some form of way and shape and color and gender.
Also insecurities can stretch out as far as not just in the category that we were talking about, but in a lot of other things. Maybe you don't like the way, like maybe you're insecure about your weight, your appearance, stuff like that. So, you know, it's possible that insecurities itself, that whole topic can be talked upon about a lot of things, not just.
No, of course. I'm just saying that it was a good point she made because as we were defending ourselves, it's a good point. You know, everybody's insecure with something. So to be called on it, you know, it's just we all, I don't know, I don't say react to it or we all express it differently. So sometimes.
And you also have another one of your friends commented on.
What? Which one?
The Facebook post.
Which
Did
one?
you read that one?
No, which one?
I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's also Priya Chan.
Oh, Priya. Yes, Priya. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, she commented on the last episode, and you want me to read it?
Read it, please read it, because I don't.
So she made 3 comments, and how you pronounce her name again? I don't want to.
Priya.
Priya. Okay, Priya. Okay, hello, Priya. He says. She says, first post, she says, sounds like a bunch of narcissistic women. And then she goes, it's important to talk about the things you guys talk about, and especially having it come from men with different life dynamics. What the hell? People need to grow up. The next post said, I would probably have that person on the show and have that be a discussion in itself, i.e. learn to be respectful and objective through and with conversations. So she's also.
Yes.
On our side.
Believe it or not, we have a lot of open-minded women listening.
How much did you pay her?
Huh? No, listen, man, to see her again. Anyway, so the point is that it's funny that we have these open-minded women, you know, it's the guys are what's lacking. The only guy that really engaged with this podcast as a host now. And then of course we had 3 guests, you know, we had 3 guests that came on, and I think it's time to bring them back. So maybe we should reach out to them and stuff to bring them back. But yeah, it's good to know that despite whatever hate that was, whether that was a male, female, or in between, it was what was that?
What was that? Did you guys both sneeze?
No, I didn't sneeze. I don't know what he did. He probably
sneezed. I'm sorry.
We have one more comment from Nicole, and it was about being left on red. And her first reaction is that a bad thing? And so I said, Nicole, shake my head. You're better than that. She says, Jason, it seems like life is so extra these days that sometimes you just have to have that quick minute to make sure that it isn't a life or death situation and keep it moving until later. I guess it depends on the situation, but I wouldn't know if it would make my head explode or anything. So then I explained to her that, you know, it's not about that. It's about common courtesy, you know, and to be just left on red like that, whether you're dating or not, especially if it's something that clearly requires a response, it, you know, at least an okay, So she said, you're probably right. I guess definitely if you're dating someone, you're talking to somebody on a personal level, to be left on red kind of sucks. So she kind of came around at the end when it came to that. But I still stand by what I said. No matter what, unless if you forget, it happens. We all forget. But when I say left on red is you looked at it and you chose. Life didn't get in the way. There was no excuse. You chose to leave that person on red. And there's no excuse for ever doing that to anybody. Even if you don't like the person, you might as well just tell them, hey, leave me alone. Don't contact me. It's not about being straightforward. So now we got the comments out the way. Oh, did you guys want to say anything about that or no?
No, you hit it on the down. I wasn't saying communication, just communicate.
Interested. All right. So Manny, what are we talking about today?
Today on Last of the Nice Guys
podcast.
I hate you both. I can't stand you both.
So actually, this episode is going to be more of it's going to be more inquisitive than anything else, because this was actually brought up to me the other day by a person, place and thing.
I was going to say alleged friend.
Person, camera, woman, man.
An alleged associate.
And I didn't know this to be an issue. And since that day, I've actually brought it up to many other people who also said that was a load of crap.
Yep.
So my question, actually, because this is going to be an inquisitive episode. Ladies, do you prefer the term to be called the term female or woman?
Oh my Lord.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's preferred. I think we should focus on what it is, because from what I read, the question should be, ladies, do you feel offended by being referred to as female or being called female? Or if you hear men use the term female, does that trigger you? I think that's the better.
This is a really good topic, because I've always wondered this myself.
This is inspired by a Discord conversation between friends and an associate, and I mean, could you, without getting into too much detail, explain how it started and how it ended and why it led to this episode?
So the conversation started because I'm sure, as everyone in the whole world knows and is very sad, but OnlyFans is no longer going to be showing and having...
They walked that back.
Did they?
They walked it back. Yes.
Oh, so they're showing it again?
Yeah, they walked it back.
Thank God.
They're not gonna
I'm gonna have to research that.
Yeah, I saw it. Okay. Kevin Samuels posted it on his YouTube.
Oh, I gotta pay attention now.
Remember, part of his winter is coming is that OnlyFans would get rid of
OnlyFans, yeah,
sex appeal. But they turned it around. So he posted and saying, this doesn't mean winter's not coming. It just means it's been delayed. So that's all. But that's why I saw Kevin Samuels.
So this actually came out with the OnlyFans originally banning the sexual content from their platform, and it was shared in the Discord chat. And I made a comment, of course, not belittling anybody or whatever.
Right.
Allegedly. I guess that means there's going to be a lot of broke and unhappy females.
Right.
And said individual said, "You mean women?" And I go, "Isn't that what I just said?" He says, and then he continues by saying, "No, you use the term female, which is a hell of a no-no. And I'm just trying to make sure that you don't stay single." And I said, "Well, if that's the deal breaker, I don't care."
I've never. Why is really?
Yes. This is what was
said.
This
is a thing. This is a real thing.
This is what began the sermon.
So going further, said individual then hopped on another group chat to get affirmation from other female.
His exact words. He was inquiring with these female in his own group chat, saying that clearly, I don't know if he said all of you or just him didn't believe him because he has a penis. Those are his exact words.
Well, because I told him, I said, "I'm sorry, I cannot take heed from a male telling me anything about females' rights, females' feelings, female anything, because you're not a woman. Right. I don't listen to one man try and bring me. You're a feminist. Okay, have a female have a woman, a lady promote the stuff to you, because you don't know what it is to be a woman. So shut the fuck up." Is what I basically said. Right. I mean, listen.
Not in so many words. He should have said that.
And then
But he's
I
scared.
proceeded to say, no, I just didn't want it to go further than what it was. And then I
Right.
further went on and said, I as a father, because this individual is not a father, by the way, as a father of a openly gay man and 2 girls, I'm the only one in this conversation that has any leg to stand on in this conversation.
That's right.
And nothing was said after that. But, you know, he, of course, reached out for his affirmation from, I guess, his friends, and their replies were completely idiotic.
Yeah.
To the point
Yeah.
where I was like, okay, so this is where you're getting your affirmations from, because they're dumb too. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but for someone to say, you know, the word female triggers me, or the word woman triggers me, what else are we supposed to call you?
It.
Are we
It.
supposed to call you by your lady parts? Do we walk
Yeah,
around and be like, hey, that penis over there, and that vagina over there?
what
Like,
he was trying to say is that by saying female, you were saying it in a derogatory way, kind of like saying bitch. Like, you might as well just call them a bitch.
How is that
That's
the
the
same
impression.
thing as calling
I don't know.
woman a
That's the
bitch?
impression. That's the
Right.
impression I got. Mind you, I have no dog in this fight. I only read it because Manny said, "Did you see this shit?" I said, "Please hold," and I read it, and I just rolled my eyes because this individual will pluck anything PC.
Is this individual is a
You know
male?
exactly who this individual is.
yes,
Oh.
you know who it is. You know who it is.
Okay, and anything that doesn't conform to his sensibilities, anything that doesn't conform to his world beliefs, anything that doesn't conform to his ideology becomes
Oh
a
my
sermon.
God.
Becomes a sermon.
Now it
becomes a
all makes
sermon.
sense.
Yeah.
It becomes a sermon, and he won't stop until either you back down. Even if you do back down, he'll call you a pussy for backing down, right? Until you actually show him that he's converted you to his thinking process, or that at least he beat you into submission.
Oh
That's
my
the kind
God.
that's the kind of guy that he is, which is
It's
not
good in
fine.
some aspects, but
no, it's not good
not in every conversation.
It's not good in any aspect because now like me, I am on eggshells whenever I speak to this guy, not because I'm afraid of him, because I'm the only one that stands his ground to him whenever it comes to, I mean, like, really stands his ground. Like, we will get into like serious arguments via text, kind of stand your ground, because I'm an intellectual as well, and I feel strongly about things as well. You're not the only one that feels strongly about stuff. But the thing is, though, is that I've never met anybody like him, and he makes my heart beat so. I mean, like, my
Palpitate.
Palpitates. Yeah. It makes my blood pressure. The last time I had a heated conversation with him, when it was finally over, I felt like I was going to pass out. That's how, not angry, but that's how intense I get, because this guy will go and he'll belittle you on, and he means to do it. He made it very clear he means to do it, which is fine. No, it's not fine. Which is it's him. You choose to deal with that with him. But then I used to say that, how does this guy have friends if he talks to everybody like this, whoever doesn't conform to his beliefs? And then when I saw that post, and I saw, well, there you go. He does have people that conform to his beliefs, so it makes sense. So when you have people like-minded like you that conform to the way you speak, the way you think, and how you talk to people, it makes sense. So when I saw that thing, everything fell into place. I said, okay, cool, makes sense.
And then he proceeds to even further talk smack to me, because I told him, I said, listen, I speak to all sorts of forms and colors and age and whatever women. This has never been told to me. And his reaction was, no, you're listening to other men's opinions and other men who portray and pretend to be feminists. And I said, no, I don't listen to what other men tell me about women. I've been around women my entire life. I was raised by my mother. I have 3 sisters. Obviously, I have daughters. I have a gay son, like I said earlier. I've just been around women my entire life. And not once has this issue, this thing has ever come up to be an issue with anybody. No one's ever said, I prefer this term, or please don't call me that. You know, especially because when I speak, I don't speak to individuals or anybody in a belittling manner unless I'm meaning to. And if I'm doing it, you'll know why I'm doing it in the first place.
Right.
So for him to just, blockade me completely and was like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You said the wrong word.
Yep.
And that's the end of the conversation.
Yep.
No, it's not the end of the conversation, because although you want to sit there and think that you're right in this dogfight, you're wrong. I understand your side to a sense, because I know there's some women out there that prefer one term over the other. Fine.
I still don't get that, but all right.
I do my very best to not insult people, depending on whatever they prefer to be called. But the point is, this was a discussion between men. So there was no reason to be like, hey, bro, don't say that word. Why? Who's listening? Who's watching? Who do you have over your shoulder that's like, you need to get rid of that fucking asshole. He doesn't know. No, it's you. And that's the freaking problem, because you're not a woman. So
remember, he went and confirmed it with his like-minded women and in his chat. So they and send us a screenshot.
But it was two. The third one, I think, was just a ploy on words, because they mentioned Ferengi, and we're not going to go there with Star Trek. But it was three people. One of them obviously made a funny joke. Okay, the other two, again, their comments were idiotic. And then I from there went and spoke to a bunch of different people, different ranges of ages, colors, backgrounds, and they've all said the same thing. Nobody cares. If you don't mean anything mean or derogatory behind either word, it doesn't matter.
It's about the tone, because you could also say, listen here, woman, and it can be just as offensive, as being called, listen here, female. It's about the context, the tone, and the intention behind the use of the term. It's not the term itself.
And
this is not a racial slur. I mean, what the fuck are we talking about?
And then I spoke to older women at my place of employment, and two of them had told me that the problem is today's generation. Everything is offensive. Yes, everything is being nitpicked to be offensive, and therefore everybody just wants to share their offensive,ness. Which
this is why the testosterone levels have been dropping, and that's a very
because we can't
call
women females. That's why. That's why.
No. But what he's displaying is a perfect example of what we talked about in the last episode, which was, and we confirmed this because this has been a study going on for years.
Right.
The testosterone in males have been dropping every year since I think like the 70s or 80s or something like that. And this is a perfect example as to why. Because now we can't say certain words. You're a woman, but there are different versions of a woman by name. That's just how it is. We didn't create this. This is how it was for decades upon decades. What is the problem? In school, they used to teach you in health class a male and a female, private parts. Like that's how they named it. I remember in health class them saying female and male.
On some government documents, the sex is male or female. So what do? You get pissed at the government worker when you don't?
I don't understand. You can't get offended by everything.
Only now are they adding other maybe to it. But for your entire life, it's up to just recently, you had to check male or female. So now when you have to check when there's an outdated form, and it only has male or female, what do? Make another box and check other? Like what are you doing here?
He's the type to fill out the form and be like, oh, male, huh? I'm not answering this.
No. He won't do that. He'll draw a line and do an annotation. Well, actually, the female term has been archaic reverse. And exactly has been archaic. The sort says that. I mean, and probably take a picture and give him some kind of chat. That's what I'm trying to say, though, is that discussion, borderline argument that you had with him was unnecessary.
Exactly.
I mean, there's so many things in this world. To have deep, dark, even this nonsense about the virus and vaccinations. That's way more important than having a deep discussion about you're saying you're using the wrong term. It's offensive.
We got to call. I think a friend of a friend of a friend told me not too long ago. Right, but so. I heard this story that the dude was transitioning, but he was already he was already gay, which is fine, and whatever. But he was transitioning. From that point on, I was told that he did not want to be called a he as he was transitioning. Something about how it basically, because he was transitioning, that calling he or she or anything was not allowed in his presence. And I'm saying his because
so hold on now.
I'm basically,
so what you're saying is you couldn't refer to him as a him, but he also didn't want those pronouns used at all in his presence.
Not all.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
This is what. Get
the fuck out of here.
This is exactly why we discuss this. This is crazy shit. How you're sitting here arguing about the female? Really? Is it that hard to understand that there are certain things that have been around way before we were born? Why are we going to act like
and some things have been around way before we were born is archaic and old, and he's a people of the times and is offensive. That is true. I'm saying this, but the gender terms, and the gender is not real. The gender terms and the sex terms that we use are still biological in nature. I understand you're transitioning, but no matter what you do, you're still biologically your sex. I mean, there's no way around it.
No, there isn't.
There really isn't. And I'm not trying to be offensive or insensitive.
You're not being offensive.
But you need to understand something. Even if a black man bleaches his skin white, he's still a black man.
Yeah.
Biologically. You have to be understanding. This is what I'm trying to say. So, I mean, fine, you can request those things, but to respect your preference, but in my opinion, you shouldn't accept it. I mean, expect it. You shouldn't. That's just me. If you get the acceptance, I absolutely, and I do it, don't get me wrong, I will conform. But what I'm saying though is that because you are the way you are, you should not walk out with a chip on your shoulder expecting this to happen, especially when it's not the norm yet and may never be the norm. So this friend of a friend of a friend of a friend making this declaration, if just because I am the way I am and it means no disrespect, I'd say then you don't need to hang around me. That's literally what I would say. There's one thing to be sensitive to somebody, to be sensible. When you make a declaration like that, you can't use male or female pronouns in my presence. I would say you don't need my presence then.
And then God forbid you actually
and you slip. Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
So we're all of a sudden the worst person because we slipped.
Imagine?
This is the reason why I always, you can ask these two guys. I always post I guess normal people that are blue pilled still. With the blue pilled people will still look at me and what I post as being outlandish, not right, offensive.
Yep.
Trump lover, all this other stuff, whatever you want to call it. But the truth is that in a conservative way, the reason why I post these things is not to offend people. It's more so the fact to make them understand, the ones that are not, I guess, red pilled, make them understand what the truth is. And even based off of what I post around facts and information and research, it's all right in front of you. So when you are talking about something as silly and foolish as this, where we have to watch what we say because we're saying the word female, it becomes a little bit too much. Because recently, to add on top of another thing, guys, I didn't repost this, but I was about to. This guy on Instagram, this guy I follow on Instagram, he posted, he's like, I'm going to read the caption. The caption at first says, "I can't believe I have to post this, but for some people have to understand this." And literally was a diagram of the anatomy of what a male has from age 0 to age 10 to what a woman has. And it goes by like what the pictures are and how they develop. And he's like, this one is for a woman, one is for a male. This is how it is, and it's not changing. So what you said earlier made sense, because now we're talking about this is what it is. This is what it is. I don't understand where we lost that sense of reality.
Because we lost that sense
in
of
the
reality.
past 10 years.
We lost that sense of reality when we created the term gender as opposed to sex. Sex is what you are biologically, can't change. Gender is what you psychologically identify with. That's what it is. That's the difference. Gender
and everybody wants their own place. They want to be heard. They all, all the different genders want to be heard. They want to have their own place. It's not just
sure.
Everybody just wants to be.
You want to be heard? Create a YouTube channel.
Yeah, or a podcast like us. Be miserable and old looking. What it is though is that gender is psychological. It is what you identify as divorced of biology. And that's it. This is I'm not being offensive. This is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what gender is. That's what sex is. And sex got pushed off to the side because we're starting to focus more on you can be whatever you want to be, not just in the army or in life, but your sexual orientation can be whatever you want to be. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. What I am saying though is that it has no basis in biology. That's the thing. Even again, you can nip, tuck, and snip away. It doesn't change your chromosomes. It doesn't change what you are biologically. So that's the issue. That's what's going on. We're in a fight between biology versus psychology, and instead of saying maybe this is something mental, we're saying no, this is right. We're gonna say, and this is what I find so funny because this individual is all about science, and you would think that he'd be on board with this idea, saying, well, not to say that you can't identify with whatever you want to identify with, but you would think that, okay, well, I can see the pushback because of science, so biology. See that term, he's selective when that term is used, or when he focuses on science, and it or the data. It drives me up the wall because if the data doesn't correlate to his worldview or his idea,
that shit gets me crazy when you
then
say
it's
that.
wrong. Then it's wrong.
It's crazy.
So,
imagine
some of the data is actually telling you how bad it is. That's the funny part. That's the craziest part to me.
But it doesn't fit. And it's not just him. He is an example of the majority, well, not the majority, of that vocal minority that's going on right now. That's slowly changing the neutral. It's it's the vocal minority that's changing the neutral.
Yeah, and it's the cognitive dissonance type people. That's
correct.
That's what it is.
Do you want to be on the right side of history, kind of thing? You know what I'm saying? So, and I understand that, and I'm not in any way taken away from his super strong beliefs. I mean, they're not strong; they're intense. Okay.
Right.
What I am saying though is that he leaves no room for discord. Oh, he leaves no room for conversation. He has no room for a debate because and it's like you said, Joe. It's like he believes there's nothing left to learn. You said this to me once, and I was like, wow, that makes sense. So, Manny, could you just go back to how did that conversation end?
Complete silence after he made his after he got his affirmation and he put the screenshot in the Discord. He basically was just like, look, other people agree with me. The end. And,
but that wasn't the end. Then the other two dudes in there are saying, well, I don't use that term, or whenever I use a term, I don't mean anything by it. They're on the defensive.
That's like a white guy saying I've never used the N-word. You know damn well a lot of white people say that shit.
But I mean, I'm reading the responses. Well, I don't ever use that term ever. But why are you saving face? Listen to my voice. Why are you saving face to this individual? All right, if you use female, you use female. So what?
Yeah, so no one's getting canceled.
The very first subtitle of the book that I wrote with my brother that wasn't published. It was called "Scorned: The Female Condition." Give me a break. And no one knows from that term did I ever say, oh my God, that might be offensive. Let me change that. Or oh my God. And nor did I mean anything by it. It was just I just liked the way it rolled off the tongue. The woman condition, no, the female condition. It sounded good to me.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
That's crazy.
So now if I ever publish this book, I'm gonna be canceled immediately because I put the female condition on there.
Right. And that was another thing that I said was like when I use the term female, I'm basically just identifying something as feminine.
Yeah.
When I use the word woman, I consider that more like an age or a mentality thing. Like,
Yes.
yeah, like I obviously
woman, girl,
right,
woman.
you're not gonna call a 40-year-old female or lady, sorry, let's just
Yeah, there,
generalize that
girl,
as a
woman,
girl,
lady. Girl, woman, lady.
you know. Sorry, there's a bug flying and bothering.
Listen, it happens to me all the time. Don't feel bad.
Get it. Get it. Get it.
Get it, male. Get it, male.
But that's how I identify those two terms. So if I say the term, woman or female, I'm generalizing as something that's feminine.
Right.
Whether it's a lady or a gay man that prefers to be called that, whatever have you.
Right.
That's how I look at it. I work with a lot of electronics. What are electronic parts? A lot of them are male parts, female parts. Why they decided to be that way? It's just because of
the duality of life, right?
Yeah, you insert the male into the female, just like how life is.
Oh, that's a new way to do birds and the bees. I like that.
But
so
so
the battery into the
is that something that we're gonna have to change in the electronic world?
Absolutely, like, positive and negative.
Am I gonna be a tech on the phone like, yeah, so you want me to stick the male part into the female part?
Good God.
Cancel that man.
Good God.
Can you imagine? And then they fill out the survey at the end. 1 star, 1 star, 1 star. Why? He used the term female. Then you get called into the office. So we got this 1 star, and we pride ourselves here on customer service, customer relations. Did you use the term female on the call?
How dare you?
I mean, if he needs to play it back for you, we're gonna play it back for you. Like, what do we?
But it's like that. That's how it is nowadays. It's really sad.
But why?
But why?
But why? It drives me nuts that we are so sensitive, and it's not just we're sensitive, and we've had this conversation before in the past, but it's like we are looking for the next thing to cancel. We're looking for the next thing.
Because like you said before, it goes along with people wanting to develop their own views and ignore the facts, which has been, again, I know it sounds outdated, but which has been there for years. That's why I don't understand this whole female mentality. I don't get it.
Much louder now.
And but let them be louder now. Let them be loud.
But it's hard to because then eventually it's gonna happen to Manny. Eventually, he's not gonna want to say almost anything in the Discord chat because he doesn't know what's gonna trigger this guy.
Oh no, I'm still not gonna care. That's just that's me being honest. I don't give a shit.
I know you don't give a shit, but it's aggravating though. It's
aggravating to deal with.
But
other people's beliefs and mindsets don't affect me and how I talk and how I bring myself to the situation, considering that if you want respect for how you believe and think, you have to respect the way that I say things and how I believe. If not, then we don't have a reason to be.
See, but that's the thing. No, it's not about, okay, he challenges you. He actively, yes, he attacks you. He actively says that you're a bad person. He actively makes you feel like a bad person. And I'm sorry, no matter who you are, nobody wants to feel like the bad person. So
you do exactly what Kevin Samuels has done when he speaks to certain women and they have the mentality to and the need to be right. He goes, okay. Mm-hmm.
That's
all right.
That's what I told.
And then and then all of a sudden you see the Zoom channel.
Yep.
That's what you do.
And that's what I had told Matt. I said, Manny, why don't you just say okay and just move on then? Don't even backpedal. Just say okay and keep it moving. Because what's the point? I can't engage with him on anything more than a very superficial level and in small doses because I can't. We are literally opposing sides of everything, pretty much. So there's nothing I'm going to say that I know is not going to be attacked in somehow. And I don't want to go through it because I'm sorry. I still have feelings and I don't like when somebody tells me you're a bad person because you're critically thinking. I don't like it. And I have a need. Anybody that knows me knows I have a need. No, not a need. I find pleasure in debating. It's fun for me. except when I met him. It's no longer fun for me. I mean, I love it. I just love playing devil's advocate. I love having debates. I love having deep conversations. But you know, like when you're with somebody that is that condescending and they mean it. How do you know they mean it? Because they said so. They said the condescending tone is intentional. I want you to feel like you're a dumbass. I need you to feel like a dumbass. It's like it's I wonder if it gets him off to do that to people. I wonder if it's like a high kind of a thing, because I don't know how you can talk to people that you may not consider us friends, but at least you consider us something.
Well, I'm not into the psych. I never took. Well, I did take psychology. I didn't take it as a major,
right?
Or did any more research on it. But I do know that dealing with many people, different kinds, male and female, I will tell you that what that sounds like some sort of mental thing. Like I'm not in any way.
Clearly, this man has something to prove to whomever it is.
I think it's some sort of mental thing, man.
I don't know. I don't want to go that far because he's a very intelligent guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a very intelligent guy.
No, you can be very intelligent, but still have.
Maybe he's borderline eccentric. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He has to have something.
But he's so smart and he speaks so eloquently that it's really hard to not feel like you need to bow down to his declarations, you know, no matter what they are. And I'm saying, and he's not straight-laced either. He's not like every single thing he says is PC and by the book. It's just his things. You know, there are certain things that are controversial that he believes. And if you didn't believe in that controversial belief he had, then you're also wrong. So I'm just like, wait a minute, wait. So certain controversial things are okay. So basically things are only okay if it's okay with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's freaky.
I was looking for this stupid screenshot for like the longest time.
Oh, that's what you were doing. I thought you were bored.
So no. So the two comments that I found completely idiotic on this term.
Okay.
One of the ladies said it can also dehumanize, and this is just using the term female over woman.
You said, all right, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry we're laughing like this, but this is crazy. Repeat that.
She said it can also dehumanize them by basically referring to them as their reproductive system. It's also passive, aggressive, and weak. Usually only weak men use it to try to put the people they see as a threat.
How? But that's what you are. That's what you are.
But can't you say the same thing about woman? If I say you're a woman,
no,
if I say, listen here, woman, do what you gotta do. Is that not? Can that also be derogatory as well? Do
you know how many comedians, specifically Black comedians, use that as like a? What is the problem?
Like that doesn't make any sense. Wait.
This is the reason why I'm Republican.
Hold on now. Calling a woman or a lady or a girl female is dehumanizing?
Oh my Lord.
Is that what it is? What? What's that other comment?
This sounds like a liberal thing that someone would say in New York.
The second comment was because it's used to present sex before person.
What?
Really? Since when?
Not since when. Doesn't the word woman do the same fucking thing?
That's what I'm saying.
If I call
girl
you
or lady, it's all female.
You know what? I'm gonna find the anatomy picture and just like post it up to the camera.
We're not gonna see it's gonna be blurred out.
I don't.
It's dehumanizing. I want to make it very clear, and ladies who are listening are, you know, I don't mean to sound like I'm ridiculing this, but I'm ridiculing this. Damn, this is stressing me out. Ladies, does being referred to as female dehumanize you? I mean, I think that's going to be the title of this episode. Is referring to women as females dehumanizing? Because that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. How is that dehumanizing? Where? When would it become derogatory? When did it become a slur?
So my reply to that was woman can also be used to dictate sex before person as well.
Okay.
As far as saying that weak men use it, I understand that when it's being used as a means to be derogatory.
Correct. Anything can be used as derogatory. Okay.
Yeah.
Black people were called boy in the past. That was
Yeah.
the derogatory. We still say boy now. It's not derogatory. It's the tone, it's the context. It's why you're using it. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And then before he jumped onto that page, or that little chat that he had, I told him, I said, the word woman, I've heard several times that the word woman is worse, considering that the term man is in it, which, you know, comes from straight out feminists, whatever. But the same can also be said about the word female, but we're not going to go there.
Right.
And that's when he proceeded to say, no, you haven't. The only time you've ever heard someone say that term, the term woman is worse than female, is when you're reading from men's rights advocates cosplay as a feminist or a genuine toxicality hyper third wave feminist.
Listen to this man speaks. Listen to this man speaks. I want to make it very clear. You said, as an objective fact for you, that you have heard in your experience that people in your life have stated that woman is more offensive. This is an objective fact for you and your experiences.
And
so what
all over me.
And so exactly. So what he says is, no, you haven't. He just told you that you don't know what you know,
right?
Or you haven't heard what you heard.
You didn't hear that shit. What are you talking about?
So my response would be, what do you mean I didn't hear that? What do you mean I haven't spoken to people and heard that? What are you talking about?
And that's
the shit I'm talking about.
And then the one of the other individuals in our chat said, I don't care to think about that, but I understand your point. To which he replies, I generally couldn't give any fewer shits if you care or not. I'm trying to educate because I've noticed it's become strangely common. As someone who consistently has a very large circle of female friends, mind you, he just used the word female.
He used the term female? He used the term female?
I didn't say.
I'm sorry, guys. This is just driving me nuts. You did not.
I didn't say anything. I just let it go. I was like, whatever. Who has a very large circle of female friends, that this is a constant topic that they bitch and moan about. And that said person that he replied to, I understand. He stopped. And then when he told me that I heard my stuff from blah, 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 I said, not at all. I don't care to hear other men speak on behalf of women's rights to feminism.
But that's what he's doing.
Right.
That's what he's doing.
That's why I said it. That's why I said it. So I don't listen to other men telling me anything. I said, as someone who's constantly surrounded by women myself, I've never once heard either term being an issue other than it meaning to be derogatory. And then I also said, I feel rather insulted that you think that I only have these types of conversation with men. Men may have their opinions, but I can also care less about their opinions, especially when it comes to women and their thought processes and everything. Especially after being a father of a gay man and girls. So I'm pretty much the only one here who has a better gauge in this conversation. The idea that either term can be derogatory is shameful within itself, unless it is used to be derogatory. Mm-hmm. Do I understand and respect both sides of the conversation? Yes. Will I do my best not to insult either side? Always. I do not put my personal beliefs or ideals in front of anybody else's feelings. And then that's right when he dropped in his little, I need other people to say that.
I need that version because God forbid this guy Manny's not backing down like everybody else backs down. You know, the other two rolled over and showed me their belly.
This dude is the perfect human being. That's it. He's the perfect.
He is perfect. He's perfect.
Specimen.
He
God created him in the most.
He's the bestest ever.
Ever.
The bestest ever.
Like a Greek god.
I'm talking about a role model for role models for role models.
Okay.
I think because of him, we need to end this podcast because we are not aspiring to be the level of can I say male man? Can I do that? I'm not sure. The level
we
of
don't care.
Yeah, the level of
don't you dare hold back with your words, man.
You know, I'm not even sure anymore. But we need to aspire to be on his level of masculinity. I don't know what I'm saying here, you know, because this doesn't Why do you think? Okay, so let's say he has 100 female friends. Half the population on Earth or more are women. Are you telling me your subset of female friends speak for all of women?
All women.
Forget the across the globe. Let's talk about just in South Florida. Okay. Are you telling me that your 100 like-minded female friends speak for every woman in South Florida? Not Florida, South Florida. You know what? Let me give you Broward and Dade County. That alone. I wonder how many Broward and Dade County women would say, I don't give a shit, as long as you're being respectful.
I've asked at least
15.
A
lot of them. I don't even live there. I know probably a lot of them would.
I'm saying, like, I literally think they would look at me and say, you know, could you imagine me looking at a woman saying, can I call you female or woman? Is that okay? And they look at me like, what the fuck is going on here? You know, you look like a fucking idiot.
That's the worst pickup line too. That'd be terrible.
I've had a couple say I'd rather the term woman.
Right.
You know, if you know, depending on how the conversation goes, depending on what your terminology is being used for.
Exactly.
I'd prefer the word. But and then I specifically asked, but if I call you female, will it light a fire on your ass? No. Okay.
I would think,
would it make or break your day?
I think out of girl, woman, lady, and female, I think being called girl is the most derogatory thing. If you're not a girl, I would think if I looked at you and say, listen here, girl, okay, I would think out of all four of those examples, that'd be the most.
Even that,
yeah,
out of context or depending on how you say it.
Right, it still depends on context.
Hey, girl,
right?
Like no one cares. No one cares.
I find the fact that and by the way, this is what happens. It looks like our podcast is becoming reactionary. And you know, have you noticed that the last couple of episodes have been a reaction to either a breakup, to a comment, to a conversation. This podcast is becoming divorce.
Well, I mean, because we have to go by experiences and experiences tell stories.
And of course, but usually our experience or the topics that we bring up is, you know, something that inspires to talk about it from our past. But the last couple of episodes have been reactionary. We've been reacting to nonsense that we see. Left on Red, reactionary. The Portrait of a Break, reactionary. All of it was reactionary.
The ex paying their bills.
Reactionary.
Yeah.
And the next episode we're gonna have is gonna be reactionary. I have to tell this story. I can't tell you guys now, but I have to tell this story because I'm like what the fuck is going on? Don't get me wrong, I love where we're going with this, but I would like us to not have to react to every little thing now because that's nonsensical. Like this topic is so stupid. And the fact that we have to have an episode about this, it just, you know, I don't get it.
Well, I mean, it's your friend. So
okay.
Association by association.
For me, it's more or less like, you know, ladies of the audience, please, you know, dictate for us. Are we wrong in feeling how we feel about this? Are we wrong in saying that either one of these?
Yeah, that's no big deal, right?
Either one of these words mean something, you know, like, not that I'm saying that we need affirmation, but I'd like
some affirmation. I'd love some affirmation. I would love, and please comment so we can screenshot it. So when this happens again, we can put it in the Discord chat. And we can post it right back. Well, these females, and you know what I would do? I would love it if you had females that said, we're cool with it. It doesn't matter. What would he have said? Would he have belittled those women? Oh, those women are. That's what I'm saying.
People are like, you know what? They probably have toxic masculine husbands or boyfriends or that beat them up every day.
Yeah, or daddy issues or psychological hangups. That's my point. So if you're presented with with contrary examples to your beliefs from the group that you're defending, yeah, I guarantee he would belittle those women.
Oh yeah,
who say, no, it's not really a problem. I really don't care. Oh, then there's something wrong with you because you should care because and puff up your chest. How do you sleep at night? Is what, you know, what I'm saying, when with all this injustice in the world, how can you go to bed knowing that there's so much injustice and that you can't speak truth to stupid in your mind. That's what I imagine is like to be him, you know. And I don't dislike him, but I can't. I don't make it my business to have too many meaningful conversations with him because I just can't do it to myself.
Yeah, you can like somebody and not agree with anything at all that they say. It's
Correct.
fine.
And but
Correct.
the thing is,
But there's a difference there.
yeah, it's pure disrespect.
Total difference.
It's pure disrespect. You can disagree with people, and you're
still
cool with
respect
them.
them.
But
Right.
he doesn't. He actively is. It's not. Oh, that's just how he speaks. No. He actively does this to disrespect. He actively belittles you. He actively speaks condescending to you. He has that tone. He does it on purpose. Because and how do I know this? Because he has said so. He means to be this way. He wants you to feel stupid in the face of his superior intelligence.
So, and this is basically how he ended it. He said, "Anyway, bros, I'm not trying to police how you talk.
What?
Just trying to learn you some truths. I don't want you to start wearing fedoras, trench coats, and growing a neck beard."
Because you use the term female.
Just because, yeah.
Yeah,
and
but
also because
isn't I mean,
I
it
love
doesn't make
wearing a
sense.
fedora, by the
You're-
way. I love
you're-
wearing fedoras.
But you're speaking as if you are a woman.
No, he's
I
the
mean,
vo- he's the
that's-
voice.
that's-
In that conversation, he was the voice of that sex or gender or whatever.
No, but him saying, "Oh, I don't understand how."
Look at Joe. Look at Joe. Look at Joe. Look at Joe.
I'm not-
His mind just exploded.
His voice.
No, because
I
I don't understand. Like I've met many different types of women. I lived in Bed-Stuy, Brownsville, East New York. Every ratchet ghetto place you could think of in Brooklyn, New York, I've lived in. So I've met different kind of people from all over the place in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but those women you refer to, they don't even use those terms. All they say is "Hey, bitch."
They use worse. That's not the point though. They use 10 times worse.
Hey, slut.
But the fact of the matter is that I've at my age right now and my experiences, I've grown to realize that men are not becoming men at all. They're for some reason men are being devalued, and their masculinity is slowly decreasing, which is a problem for me because, not to sound old school or sexist or whatever, but
Your age is showing.
us as men have the ability, or not the ability, but we as men have a sense of pride to uphold in the fact that not to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna go, pay the bills and do everything. Not that. I'm just talking about in the fact that you
No,
have.
they still want that.
Of course they do, but you have a an appearance, and you have a I'm trying to look for the right word, but you're trying to uphold yourself in this society that's pretty much ruining an image that's pretty much ruining men, because now we're looked at as being offensive, derogatory. We can't do this, we can't do that. Opening up our feelings is wrong. You're a pussy, you're a bitch, you're this, you're that. So when I hear stuff like this, to me, in my opinion, I like to uphold the values of men. You know what I'm trying to say? I like to uphold the values of how
You have to uphold the values of men, because some of the values of men, women still demand that we do anyway.
right.
Right.
That's the whole point.
But
It's just like the make daddy a sandwich story.
Yeah.
right. But the
Oh my God,
the
send
whole-
that clip in a group. Send that clip in there. I want him to react. Do it. Poke the bear. Sorry.
But the whole conversation that Manny was talking about, that really was the topic of this episode. It to me, it sounds like you're acting more feminine rather than being masculine about this. Like you're defending a word that literally is a fact.
He would say that he is being the antithesis of being toxic masculine.
I don't give a
That's
fuck.
what he would say, the
I don't care
antithesis.
I don't give a fuck.
That's what he
It
would
doesn't matter.
probably say.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, a male is a male, a female is a female, a man is a man, a woman is a woman. That's it.
Which is-
Period. The end. That's it.
which
There
is-
is no in between. There
Which
is
is
no
why
in
I
between.
chose to say I don't care for a word that he has to say because he is a man. A man is not going to tell another
Yeah,
man
we don't
about how a
argue with
woman
stuff
feels.
like this. We
Right.
don't do this.
No.
We argue about like penis size or whatever. Or, you know.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never argue. I'm all like,
I don't know,
baby,
man. I got my
see the
7 inches
see
over
the
here.
shirt.
Listen. I'm Jason the Girth Grant-Henriques, so it's all good. So
I'm blessed, bitches.
okay, but I mean, and final thoughts. I mean, and this is the same guy that says that he doesn't believe in reciprocation, that he chastised me because I do too much when courting a woman when it should be 50-50. And I challenged him and I said, my man, what the fuck are you talking about? There is no woman on this planet that's gonna be asked out on a date and you go Dutch.
Right.
You're not gonna accept that shit. What are you talking about?
Especially on the first date.
Especially on the first date. He told me, well, then you're dating all the wrongs because that's how I said, okay. You're a woman. You're telling me that your woman was 50-50 with you when you guys first met? Yeah. I said, I had nothing else to say because I wanted to call bullshit.
There is the rare case that it does happen.
No, it's
so
very
small.
It's very rare. And
yeah,
it'd be a hell of a thing that man found that kind of woman. It'd be a hell of a thing.
All you got to do is say what you said earlier before, Jay, and say, okay.
Right. But okay. I'm just like, you what world do you live in? You know for a fact. Okay. And don't get me wrong, some of the ladies that comment, they say that they, I think we had discussed this, right? They had said, yeah, I would consider it kind of sort of, yeah, kind of thing. They didn't knock it. But the reality is that the typical woman, and most women are typical, okay? There's very few exceptional women. There's very few women of substance. Most women are just typical. There's nothing wrong with being typical or average, as Kevin Samuels would say. There's nothing wrong with that. They would not. And even if they did, they would either never speak to that man again or they would never tell their friends, hey, yeah, we went out. Oh, yeah, we paid half and half. They wouldn't do it because that's not the norm. You know, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying it's right that men have to pay. Actually, I've been saying forever we shouldn't have to pay for everything. You know, because of equality and all the crap that if you want to cut out, you can't cut out some old school gender roles and keep some others. You know, that's what I'm saying. You can't have it both ways, but that's just me. But when it comes to courting, it's a man's job. They all know this. Very few women walk up to men and say, hey, baby, what's up? Let me have your number. And even if they do that, you still have to take them out. Mm-hmm. All right. To find a woman who's going to look at you and say, damn, you fine. Here's a number. I'd like to take you out on a date. You know? There's a show. It's called Final Space, right? It's a cartoon, and the guy, he's an idiot, but he goes up to this chick that he likes her, and he goes to the bar and he goes, hey, what's going on? Let me buy you a drink. You know what? Let's get crazy. Why don't you buy me a drink? That phrase had me rolling. He said, let's get crazy. Why don't you buy me a drink? And I was like, that's hilarious because it's true.
Wait, I love that. He's like, well, let's get crazy.
No. So he goes over there and he's smoozing over there and he goes, hey, what's going on? Whatever. Her name was Quinn. Say, Quinn, you know, let's whatever. He's like, you know what? Let me buy you a drink. No, it's okay. He's like, you know what? Let's get crazy. Why don't you buy me a drink? Just like that. And I paused the episode and busted out laughing because it was a good joke because of how absurd such a thing is that a guy would do. You know, to tell a woman, get me, you know, buy me a drink. It's the weirdest thing. So I don't know what to tell you. It's just, this is a hybrid of griping about that guy and women, you know, do you feel triggered by us calling you female or by hearing the term female or being referred to as female or checking off the female box on a thing? You know, it's I can't believe we had this episode. I really wanted to do my episode. So
shut up. This is a good question.
What are y'all? Well, I already said my final thoughts because I have nothing else to say about this.
God damn. I'll say that everybody is looking for an excuse to be upset or miserable about something. I don't know why. I don't know why we can't just focus on the positive, because in reality, there's more positive things going on than there are negative, and why we're looking for things to fight about. Such small,
reaching.
Yes, it doesn't make any
and not
sense.
to mention the wrong people are fighting these battles. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have
all this
you don't
virtue
have a leg.
signaling nonsense. Like, why are you
don't
involved
have-
in this?
You have no leg to stand in your
My
fight.
man, you have a penis. This should have nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing. Manny, this is your topic, so you get the final word before we wrap it up.
I just want to say to everybody, all the ladies out there, since we're just going to use that word. This is the discussion not to mansplain our opinions or our feelings about anything. It's 100% to be just inquisitive, and we encourage everybody to engage.
Except for that one person.
Yeah, please don't. You've already done enough.
Oh man.
We don't take other people's opinions and thought processes for our own. We speak for ourselves. We cannot speak for everybody.
Right.
We speak for ourselves. So, take the time, think about, whatever, leave a comment, ask a question, get involved. This is the reason why I wanted to bring this up. I want other people to get involved. Hey, gay people, bring it in. LGBTQ plus ABZ, Y, and sometimes birds and bees. Attack helicopters. Bring it on, man. Just how do you feel about this? What triggers you? Like, just I want, this is supposed to be inquisitive, so I want to see people, just interact. You guys might not care because Joe's a dick. But
That's true. I am.
And if you guys want,
and I have a big one too.
If you guys want these nuts, hey, let me know. I got the website going.
All right. Well, that's it. Yeah. So just again, ladies, you guys know who we're expecting comments from. By all means, let us know. Is using the term female derogatory, triggering, or dehumanizing to women? Or to you?
I really want to know.
There's many things we've asked questions for. I need this answer. We need this answer, so we can do a follow-up to this topic and then close the book on it, at least for now. Anyway, Thanks for listening to Last of the Nice Guys podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Manny.
And thank you for your time.
The Last of the Nice Guys. Follow, like, and subscribe on Twitter and Instagram at Last Nice Guys, Facebook.com/Last Nice Guys, or email lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com.